So this is Senor Parker. I'm with a crew called We SA, We Slaves of America, man. We are a collective out here in Atlanta, Georgia. I am a comedian. I'm one of the two comedians out of like 15, about 15, 20 artists, man. So yeah, that's what we out here in Atlanta.
Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, I'm giving you guys some comedy game. As you guys know, I like to be funny at times, but I have somebody who does it professionally, goes city to city, state to state, ready to go nation to nation with his comedy. Senor Parker. And don't let that brown skin, he may have some Espanol behind him, but he has a whole comedy crew he's a part of, and he's going to give us the game on this comedy. So, buenos dias. How you doing, brother?
What's happening with it, man? What's going on with you, brother? I'm cool, man.
Man, I'm glad to hear, and shout out to Clubhouse. This is a Clubhouse Connect, and I heard the brother talking, and I said, let me get the story first, and none of this is rehearsed. But, first, let's start with your name. How did you get the name Senor Parker, Mr. Parker?
All right, man. I actually started doing photography back in Indianapolis when I was like 21, 22. And no, I'm running around the clubs doing these pictures and stuff. And one dude literally came to me and was like, man, you running around here with these glasses and this camera. Who the fuck you think you is, Peter Parker or some shit? And literally the name has stuck with me. But when I moved over to comedy, I didn't want to go through like all the copyright things with certain people. We ain't gonna say that. So I actually changed my name to Senor Parker because I was listening to Young Jeezy's SL Mundo, and I felt like El Jefe. And I was like, you know what? I'm about to change my name to Senor Parker. That shit sounded exotic as fuck. And that shit's gonna ring. That's how it came about.
And let the folks know, say, no Spanish background. No, my dad is from Panama. My
I'm
mom
100%. This is 100% Negro right here.
Okay, and they are too. They just speak Spanish, some of them, right? So,
Yeah.
what type of doors do you think it has opened? Like, we've heard Jamie Foxx talk about like why he changed his name and how they thought he was a woman when he first started. Have you seen that? Maybe you've been able to get on some rosters that they didn't know what you look like when they said your name or read your name?
Yeah, I've done a couple of those, man. Just starting off like it's fun though, man. It's fun to do that, man, because they were like, damn. I hop on there like, oh yeah, you thought a Mexican was coming out. Nope. You know what I'm talking about? But it was very interesting because the way I chose it, it was like, oh man, we gotta get him because like hey, a black dude with a Spanish, you know what I'm saying, with a Spanish name, and it's really just fancy for Mister. And that's I knew it was gonna, catch. So when it did, man, it started, and I was like, it just kept going, man. I done shared stages with a few people, man. Then got mentored by a few people from Steve Brown to the late Tyler Craig. Um, Dang, let's see. I mean, let's go on. Let's go on, man. I could talk all day, man. Oh, my dog Smokey Johnson set it off. What's happening? So a lot of game, man.
Now, do you ever get any pressure thinking, wait, hold on, if they think I'm Mexican, if I come out, and I start speaking Spanish, which no one would think you're Mexican, unless you're in Texas or maybe LA. But you ever say, maybe I should do a bit with, start speaking Spanish and be like, that's all I know or something like that?
I fuck around with it with my 2 years in Spanish. I fuck around with it. I could tell a couple of jokes in Spanish. So it's fun to be like, oh yeah, he really can speak Spanish. Yeah. Yeah. So I can't remember none of the shit right now because of I had to take my medication this morning, man. I've been, had to get a little elevated before I got on this thing, man. But it'll come back to me. It'll come back to me.
Yeah, no worries. I think I don't know if you're old enough to remember, but Chingo Bling
Yeah.
and the success that he had. I know he's an actor now, but I think that would be one heck of a combination, whether he, on tour or in one of his films, because the way he came into hip hop and was embraced by us and everybody, he had his own fan base, but a lot of us rock with Chingo Bling on tours for him to come back and say, I'm gonna bring some black comedians on. and I'm gonna show you how we get down. That's how they get down in Texas and many parts of the country.
Right, yeah.
Hispanics and blacks get along.
Yeah, and the way I fucked with Chingo Bling, man. The main reason why I fucked with Chingo Bling was because, man, after his shows, he's trapping tamales too. I was like, this man is genius. So, and plus plus he from the H, man. I'm a big fan of Houston culture, man. I love Houston culture from UGK, Rapper Wild Records, Slim Thug, Bow Wow. We can talk all day on that, So yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the game of comedy and just the start, because so many people think they're funny. I'm one of them. But to get on that stage and have a routine, you've practiced, you've rehearsed, and it's all in the practice and the consistency. So, how was the start? How many free shows did you have to do, and how did you make that work for yourself?
Man, countless. I think probably the first 6 months I was doing shows, just really just trying to get my name out there. Plus I was still working at the time too. But how I actually got started was it goes back to when I was in Indianapolis. I got fired from my other job. I was working call center, and I was tired of how they were treating us. So I just started giving out free shit over the phone. And then one day they said, "Hey man, Parker, can you see us in the office?" I said, "No." I just walked out. I knew I lost that job that day, so I just said, "You know what, it's over with." But I was kicking it with my uncle in the barbershop, and we would just roast his clients. Like me and my uncle just roast his clients, and he said, "Hey man, we need to try and take that shit to the stage." So when I moved back to Atlanta, started practicing. I really took that shit to the stage. First time I went on stage was trash. I dropped the mic. I thought I was like that nigga, but you're not. Let me tell you something. You are not that nigga. And I'll tell you like this. I remember that show. I remember that night. After the show, comedian Dirty South comes up to me. We outside on a rooftop. She comes up to me. Says, "Yo, baby, I love what you're doing. I think you funny, but don't you ever drop the mic because I don't know you, nigga." Like, she said that shit to me. And then she said, "Pass me the blunt." So, yeah, man. But Humble Beginners, man, did a lot of free shows, did a lot of free shit because you gotta get your name out there, man. Busting open mics every night. I was going from Monday to Friday from like 6 to 9, and then at 11, and then got turned around and be at work at 11 at night from 11 to 7. So I was doing that shit.
And then when does it come, like what does it take to then get paid? Is it that the clubs start asking you, or do you get a booking agent and they say, "I'm going to put you down. You don't have to, do these free shows around town"? Like what was that next level?
I never really had a booking agent or anything. Just out here in Atlanta, wind catches if you're funny, and then people will start to like, you just see people just hit the DM, be like, "Oh man, I seen you at such and such told me about you, and they said you was funny. So hey, let me see what you got. I'll put you on, And, at first I started asking. I was like, "Hey man, put me for a feature. You see what I can do." I go straight up to the to one of the hosts of the club or whatnot, and I'm like, "Yo man, put me on for a feature." I remember like down here in Atlanta, I was in a club for almost 2 years, just every Wednesday, just going in there, working on my shit, and just the traffic coming in and out of there, I would get gigs. I was getting, $50, $100 there. And, that's how it goes, man. You just got to keep, like, once you start, you really can't stop, if that makes any sense, especially, get out there. Because if you're funny, people gonna catch wind really quick. If not, I think they catch quicker.
And so how do you then, money wise, say, okay, I got this money coming in this week, this money coming in that week, and I'm gonna have to keep up doing so many shows, but also you gotta keep your jokes in rotation so you don't tell the same joke to the same crowd. Like, how does that work? And what does that look like? Like, okay, I got $1,000 for this weekend, but I need, two more thousand for the month. How do you break that down, and how does that just work in your brain?
Man, okay, so when you say, okay, yeah, I'm getting paid $1,000, like you're doing $1,000 and you're doing like a weekend show. Well, I would say $1,000 one night, 2 nights. that's one that's good, but you got to make sure you got your 20 minutes. 20 minutes is a long time, man. Really, if you're doing for 1,000, you're probably headlining. You need a mean 40, but really, you have to see one what your demographic is, like who you attract with your comedy. See, me, I fuse a lot of music with my comedy. I can relate on different demographics. So, like I said, I incorporate a lot of music. So, with that, I try and see which jokes work for which region as well. Because if I'm doing a show here in the South and I'm doing jokes out here in the South, a lot of my jokes out here in the South might not relate if I go to New York. But there's some jokes that I can do in New York that won't relate. You see what I'm saying? So it's just you gotta look in your bank. You gotta see what's in your comedy bank and see and go over all the jokes that you went through and you wrote down. You're like, okay, I know this work. You gotta have. I say if you have 5 good universal jokes, you can work for 5 minutes a piece. That's 25 minutes right there. Because with those 5 good jokes, you're gonna have jokes within those jokes.
Got you. And how much of that, Joe's jokes in the jokes are rehearsed? Because I'm sure you ad lib a lot of stuff, and can you remember those ad libs, for another show, if it fits?
Yeah, each show varies. Each show definitely does vary because you have different sets of people. Sometimes you might add some stuff in. Sometimes you might take some stuff out. You'll see people in the crowd that you like, oh yeah, it looked like such and such. You might go off on another tangent. Well, yeah, memory is always good. But with me, I used to do public speaking when I was younger, so I always had to learn how to memorize speeches. I'm talking about like 5-10 minute speeches, and saying that in front of 300-400 people. That's my thing was just learning how to take that and make my story funny. If that makes any sense. Oh,
yeah, we definitely it's making sense, and it's given that that angle that that so many people they can't put it together, and we want to kind of create a roadmap to say, hey, look, you start for free, you start getting paid some money, and you did it without having a booking agent, so that's even shows more growth to somebody who's like hungry, that 14-year-old or that 44-year-old who's kind of stuck in the mustard trying to catch up. So with you doing the shows, what avenues do you want to go to? Do you want to do TV? Do you want to do movies? Are you on the radio right now? Have your own podcast, YouTube? Give us a game.
I've been doing a few things with like comedy has really been fun, man. I've been on a lot of cities, plenty of cities. I've done shows. I got like misfit comedy crews that I like to work with. Like this, like you might have a certain group of comedians that when all y'all get on stage together, y'all know y'all can gel and y'all can kill it. You know what I mean? Y'all not gonna step on each other's toes. That's one of the fun things to do. I've been on albums. I've been on about 4 or 5 albums. I've done some acting. I'm actually in a short that's coming out that I worked with my buddy Jay Tree and I Am a King Studios out here. I've gotten into stocks, working with stocks and and things like that. Just dabbling here and there. Cannabis is always a big thing, especially out here in Georgia, the state of Georgia. We're working on getting our medicinal, and how the laws are working out here. The whole state is blue, and I really feel that we're going to be having that change coming soon. So that's just another economic avenue. That's all I'm doing. I just want to tap into everything. And comedy really helps you do it because you're out here. You're always out here in these streets. You're out here in these streets after the show. You get to really see who they are because they relate to your comedy. They really want to know what else you got, what else do you want to do, and then you come up.
Definitely. And what the part that I love about your story is how you're doing it with the team. A lot of people can't even get to the dream because they can't work well with the team and they want to do it all themselves. The videographer, the gaffer, the bus boy, they want to be everything. And you found that with unity, we all win. That's the hashtag, folks. So, yeah, talk about that. Like, why was that so important to you?
Having a team is always, and I would even say because like you said, one, you can't do everything by yourself. You're gonna oversight yourself a lot. You need to take the pressure off of you because you're already doing this. So, and you want to do that, but you know somebody that can do that. So let them do that. That's the best way to put it. That's the best way to put it. And that's with anything. And I guess just with the team and the people that I work with, and I've been fortunate enough to have relationships with and things like that. We're just at the end of the day, we all gotta make sure that we put ourselves in not only to grow, but just to have wealth for our kids and our kids' kids, man. Because that's one thing that we really need to really work on. And that's one thing I believe that we're all doing right now. 2021, a lot of us folks waking up. They're waking up, we get to the money, a lot of us get to cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin, and folks are making new currencies and getting to the stock exchange, man, and it's beautiful. We need to keep it going. So if I can do that, if I touch one person and tell them, hey, you need to work with this person and y'all get some money together, I feel like I've done a damn good job.
I love to hear that. And you guys have in Atlanta grown new thing on the NFTs, bankofzamunda.com. That's a free shout out. Check that out, y'all. But this is beautiful. Now, have you been able during this whole, pandemic to hit like California and, some of these states that are a little more tighter on the lockdown than they are in the South and West?
You know what? I haven't been to the West Coast yet. I've never touched California and I've never touched New York. So if anybody's watching this podcast and y'all want to bring me out there, please do. I won't charge you none but money. But I haven't hit the West Coast yet. Like I said, I've been back and forth to Florida. Florida's been, I got to keep my mask on while I'm down there. Florida definitely treats me well. It's nice, it's nice to travel down there and get some laughs in and things like that. But I got to get back home. I got to get back to the city. I believe I might hit up Chattanooga tonight. I don't know yet. Actually, once we probably get off of here, I don't know if this podcast is gonna be live or whenever this airs. I'm actually probably gonna head up to Chattanooga tonight. I don't know.
Okay. No, that's awesome. I mean, I've been in comedy clubs and, even in El Paso, just, going regular show, and Carlos Mencia, like, blew up, and he, not blew up, but he blew up the stage. He was already blown up at the time, and he rocked the whole show, did a free show because he was just in passing on his way. He was going to New Mexico, maybe then to LA. Is that kind of how the comedy life is? You guys hear something going down. Okay, it's going down in Tennessee. Let me get on the road, and on the way there, if I can stop here, why not if they'll let me on stage do my thing?
Yeah, I mean you get that a lot, especially down here in Atlanta. If you passing through, and somebody you're seasoned in the game, and I'm like, oh damn, you slid up in here, yeah, you do get that. I would say that rite of passage because you've been working in this game. People know who you are, especially out here in Atlanta. Like, I give you a prime example. There's a club out here called Kash Cafe. Every Tuesday, we do an open mic night, and there's no telling who you might see. So one night, I'm in here. I got some jokes I want to work on. This is a good place to get some jokes out, just have some good fun. Because all the comics come through there. So we put my name on the list. We chilling. Show's going good. About 15 minutes into the show, Chris Tucker walks right in there. I said, hey, we'll do some time. He ain't even look at us. He ain't looking at the comics. He looked right at Chris and said, hey, Chris, you want to get on stage and do some time real quick? That man did about 32 minutes and then left. He did like 32 minutes of comedy and left. Hilarious. He was working on some stuff, and because I believe he was working on some stuff because he was about to take a special, and he was working out some new jokes, and he was in town. He was just so happened to be in town. He said, yeah, man, I'm about to do this. Go ahead and knock this out. Hop on stage. I was happy that I got to see that treat, but then I was mad at the same time because I knew I wouldn't get on that night. But it's all love, though. You get that. That's what you get when you become seasoned. do shit like that.
Definitely, definitely. You ever get, I don't want to say worried, but the thought of when the success, happens and you have that Chris Tucker, Chris Rock, Cat Williams, George Carlin appeal where anytime you talk, people want to laugh. And then they're just laughing more about the tone from your voice because they're so used to you, but that you may have something even serious to say, or you may have a joke that you want them to think. And I want you to laugh, but wait for the punchline. Like, do you ever like say, this is a good place that I'm in because these are genuine laughs.
Oh yeah, man. When the laughs genuine, that's the best part of being home because comedy is supposed to be there. A lot of comedy comes from dark, comes from your woes, your tragedies, and you do got triumphs as well. But what I do like with stories that you always want to incorporate those small nuggets of wisdom to leave in your comedy while you making them laugh. And Dave Chappelle will tell you, man, like a lot of these comics, these comics that are seasoned and that haven't been in the game for X amount of years, they go back out on the scene. They'll hit these open mics, man, and because they want to work new material. Just because of their name, they're gonna get up there and be able to talk and work that out. So like man, he does it. Sometimes like you never know. Like you might Chappelle, he'll be running around here, he'll just hop in the comedy club. Like, hey, can I do some time? Like you never didn't even know Chappelle was in there. But he's done it. I mean, yeah, like he's done it. Like I said, Chris Tucker's done it. Rodney Perry, Rodney Jordan. I mean, shit. List goes on. They all do that because that's practice, man. That's that's art.
Now, with the art, and here comes the success, the big check. You're getting the 100,000s, the millions, the 10 millions, things that folks really pray and work towards because it's not a dream or it's a dream come true when you put in the work. What is a community give back that you want to do, or maybe one that you're doing now?
Well, my crew, VSA, we Slaves of America. We're a collective out here in Atlanta. Musicians, artists, producers, and I'm one of two comedians on the group. We actually do a lot of charity work in the city. We do a lot of toy giveaways. We do a lot of we do toy giveaways. We give out to the homeless. We do plates. We serve our communities very well because that's what we do. I mean, we have this music out. We have all this music. We get rowdy in the club. They see us in the club. They see us doing all this turning up stuff. At the end of the day, it's really all about our, the philanthropy and what we give to our community. We definitely do give a lot to our community. Matter of fact, one thing we do on Halloween for the kids, trick or treating with the kids. During the summertime, we give out plates every Thursday. We usually give out plates every Thursday. We're going to be working on that some more. But yeah, we've had folks donate, man. We donate toy drives, coat drives, man. We do all of that. You got to. You can't, you got to practice what you're preaching.
Man, I love it. I love to hear that. I'd like to know, and in closing, I've seen Mark Curry do it. I've seen Steve Harvey recently do it with Family Feud, taking his show over to the continent. Have you been able to travel to Africa yet, or look at doing shows and bringing out comedy out there?
Look, if anybody want to take me to Africa, got my info, Senor Parker, Instagram. I would love to go to Africa. I've only been to 2 countries. Been out. I mean, since I've been out here in this world, I've only been to Jamaica and the Bahamas. So if you want to take me out the country, I would love to do some shows. Like I'm really still in phase 1 of mine. I know what I'm doing and everything, but I'm still growing. I haven't done the big show yet. I'm still waiting on that. But I'm still out here in these clubs, still doing still out here hosting and things like that. And that's what you do to get your name up. So but that big show is coming though. So
well, I love it, and I know my AT aliens. I'm gonna make sure you guys get this in your box. So if you hear something you can, definitely reach out. And if you have something for my movie people in Atlanta, at least let them know what the casting is.
Oh
Let
man.
them know.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
sir. I am a King Studios on Instagram. I am a King Studios on Instagram. Holler at those fellas, man. It is not look, this is not a name, it's a declaration. That is what it is. You know what I'm talking about. Hey. Also, just real quick shameless plug, man. I want to give a shout out to good people over there at Hip Hop Stocks. This is the first stock that is dedicated to nothing but hip hop. You know what I'm talking about. So make sure you get you some.
definitely. Yeah, man. We plug all day. That's the beautiful thing about being able to do it our way. And even for the folks who do hear us on the continent, you heard he's open for, booking. You guys have show money, and COVID has not gone through the continent like it has gone through the states. So, y'all, we're going to take this offline. I appreciate you, brother Senor Parker, for coming on. And everybody, you be blessed.